ago, Tommy Langley was on the Chelsea team sheet for their opening game of the season, and then came his move to Queen's Park Rangers, and Tommy fears for a hostile reception from the disappointed Chelsea fans today. He says he's not slept too well for the worry of it all, but he's getting a welcome there at any rate from a photographer. I think you can expect no favours today from his best chum in football, Chelsea's Clive Walker. They were almost inseparable on and off the field while they were here together at Stamford Bridge. This then is the Chelsea side. A late change. Mickey Droy, the big defender, has got slight ligament trouble in his left leg. It's an old injury, and he finds it hard to play 2 games a week early in the season on hard grounds. Colin Pates takes his place. Colin Viljoen comes into the midfield, and Colin Lee comes in up front. Queen's Park Rangers, meanwhile, well, Tommy Dockett has never fought shy of pitching youngsters into the battle, so 17-year-old Wayne Faraday is back in the attack today after a touch of flu, and another 17-year-old Warren Neal is the substitute. Another Chelsea old boy back here today, of course, is Steve Ricks, who played over 100 league games here for Chelsea. To say nothing of Ken Shillito, puffing away at a cigarette there, who was not only a player but also a manager here at Chelsea. And the referee today is Brian Daniels from Brentwood. And it's Queen's Park Rangers then who kick off attacking the goal to right in a chain strip today of red and white half shirts and black shorts. Chelsea in all blue. Long throw and Wicks have gone up for it. Barota with a safe catch. Chivers, foul by Waddock, a clumsy one. I don't think it was any more intentional than that. He's only 18, Gary Waddock, already played 3 times for the Republic of Ireland. Phil John with the free kick, Lee with the header, and Rhoda grateful to be able to hook that one away before Colin Pates came in. So Fillery will take the throw. Chris Woods, the Rangers keeper, played for Walker. Oh, that's played too hard for Rove. And again Rangers, well, they came out with speed and discipline, and again caught Chelsea a little bit sleepy coming out there. Gillard. Rangers throw. Here's Langley. Played down there for Curry. The dive of Barota foiled him. Curry played that ball just a little too powerfully. It was a nice little chest down though by Langley. Rofe. Oh, that's no problem, except that McCreary then almost gave it away to Walker. Just recovered in time. And they're making trouble for themselves there, QPR. Now Viljoen again for Chelsea. Chivers coming forward, Langley coming back at him. Oh, it'll come for Walker. No foul, and Rick slides in to make the clearance for QPR. Crowd encouraged though by that little flurry from Chelsea, and it's with Fillery. Faraday. And Waddock going in again, and Walker letting one go from a long way out. Woods couldn't hold it. A real rasping left foot shot there by Clive Walker. Made that little bit of a space for himself and hit powerfully enough for Woods not to be able to get it first time. And now Curry, McCreary. Free kick, the foul by Fillery. Tony Curry played there for Langley. Just look how closely Nutton, who's marking him, has really stuck to that job well. Faraday, Waddock, and Shanks playing it in there towards Langley. Well, he's come back here and he's silenced the crowd that's booed him with a goal for QPR after 17 and a half minutes. The crowd is stunned by that. Langley's first goal for Queen's Park Rangers, and it's come at the place he would want it to be, and the QPR supporters are delighted with that. They're not. It was a lovely cross by Shanks. Played out wide there. Don Shanks playing it in there. Langley in there. The marking not too good. Barotta came and then stopped for a moment. And there's the ball in the back of the net. Tommy Langley making it Chelsea 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1.
Wicks with the header. Britton planting it forward again towards Clive Walker.
Well, there were people who were available, and Waddock went into him in the end. And I think Gary Waddock will go and have a name taken and gets, as you see, a yellow card from referee Brian Daniels. Well, I must say Walker was inviting that sort of challenge. It doesn't condone it by any means. As Waddock goes in there, well, he was a mile away from the ball. But the thing that astonishes me is how it was that Clive Walker hadn't played it off before that. Now, can Chelsea pull back that Tommy Langley goal? It's with Wilkins, driven a long way there, and a chance there for Lee. Oh, and he missed his kick, and at the second time it was saved well by Woods. Well, Lee missed his kick, and that's not the first time that Chris Woods hasn't gathered the ball at the first go, as Graham Wilkins hammers one in there from some 30 yards, and it looked as though Lee might get that one, and when he got it the second time, Woods pushed it away. So here's the corner with Walker taking it, curling right in there. Fillery. And a Chelsea throw. Nutton. Played in for Lee, played on first time by Britton. Wicks is there for Queen's Park Rangers. Curry. Well, he almost gave that to Lee, and Roeder was able to make the repairs. Shanks getting in there, very forthright indeed, and Langley on the chase again. Nutton's there with him. He's got Faraday waiting in the middle. Played nicely by Langley for Faraday, and Langley coming in, and Faraday, no! Somehow they kept it out. That was amazing. It was some tremendous play there in the first place by Tommy Langley. And it looked a surefire second goal. He's so aware that Faraday's there, pulls it back superbly for him. Chelsea make the challenge. Langley comes in there again. Somehow Barotta saves it, and then it's cleared away that time by Chivers.
Waddock. Roeder. Curry. David McCreary. Shanks. And just onside again is Wayne Faraday. Back for Curry. And a bit of space there for Waddock or for Shanks to close in on it. It's Waddock, in fact, who finds Shanks. Burke coming in with a little guided header now for Langley. And Curry trying to curl one, and Barotta turning it away. Tony Curry's speciality, of course. Ball's hit with a curl. And there with the outside of the right boot, curling around the Chelsea defender. That would have just gone inside the post, but for the dive of Barotta. So Rangers with a corner, which Curry will take. Wayne Faraday, the number 7, going across there also. Now it's with Curry again. Rangers get the throw. Good long throw there again, but nothing getting there for Chelsea. Walker, but Waddock there. Nice little touch there by Burke, but Waddock presenting Chelsea with a goal kick. Rofe. That'll skid through forwards. McCreary. Shanks. Lee trying to do a dummy there and quite rightly getting a free kick. It was obstruction by Ian Gillard, well spotted by the referee. And it's with Ian Britton. Cleared by McCreary. Britton again, doing so much running, little Ian Britton, number 7 here to try and get his side going. And Rofe didn't quite keep the offside trap there. His run wasn't quite timed, but that's maybe the way to do it, is to get somebody from deep to make a well-timed run. As the ball was played, in fact, it wasn't Rofe offside, it was someone trying to come back from an offside position. Rofe was perfectly okay. Waddock, it's a touch for Burke. And that's Rofe just flicking that wide of Langley for the Rangers throw. Shanks with the throw. Here's Curry. He could cause mischief in that sort of position, and he just got that up and away. But there's Waddock, and a great save there by Barota from Gary Waddock. Yeah, they really haven't done all that well in defence. And the challenge by Roeder a little too fierce on Lee, and he's almost wrestled to the floor there by Glenn Roeder, being given a few words of advice by Tony Curry, but I think the referee will also want to have a word with Glenn Roeder just to calm it down. But let's have a look at that save by Barota. Curry did so well. That wasn't a very good headed clearance, and Waddock really took advantage of that situation, hit it superbly. What a good piece of keeping. And here come Rangers again as Curry tries to get Langley on his way. And certainly Langley has caused this Chelsea defence a little bit of trouble. He's always been a great runner. I think in a way it's sad that the fans have been booing him today, because he ran his legs off here for Chelsea for a number of seasons. A real wholehearted player. And here's Langley again. Oh, and another good piece of keeping there by Barota as Langley whipped round on that one and got it down by the post. And he's turning on the ball and giving himself half a chance all the time, Tommy Langley. Rofe. Queen's Park Rangers have a really good record against Chelsea. Chelsea have won only one of the last 10 league games these two clubs have played. And in fact, it was a 2-0 victory here for QPR at the beginning of April that really, in many ways, killed off. That was the one vital result that killed off Chelsea's promotion prospects. And here they are, leading at half-time by 1-0. And the storybook quality of the first half is, of course, that it was Tommy Langley, only a fortnight ago, a Chelsea player, who scored the only goal with that header. Got a fair amount of booing from the crowd, and I suppose he would say that's the best way to answer them. So the half-time score then here at Stamford Bridge is Chelsea 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1. So Chelsea got us away at the start of this second half. Anxious to make good the goal that Tommy Langley scored for QPR in the first half. I think one of the things they've got to do straight away is to get some of their midfield men in more forward attacking positions in the way that Curry and young Gary Waddock and Don Shanks have been doing in the first half of Queen's Park Rangers. And certainly Ian Britton is one man who will need to inspire his Chelsea team during the next 45 minutes. Langley off once more, and that time it was Colin Pates, but it's Waddock playing the ball through for Faraday, and he quickly thought that he would just chest it down. That was a good bit of thinking by the 17-year-old. Now the ball with Langley again. He's gone past Rofe. A good cross called for. Faraday trying to get on the end of it.
Burke is right in there. Chelsea were in a bit of a muddle there for a moment, and they get it away now to Graham Wilkins. Walker, who's got the dash and the verve up front to save them if only he can find the right sort of run and the right sort of service. Colin Vildren with the throw. Here's Wilkins, played in a game for Walker, a little touch by him for Britain, and Gillard bringing him down. A free kick to Chelsea. Flicked in there towards Lee, and a great save there by Chris Woods from Ian Britton. Well, that was a case of a midfielder getting into a good shooting position, and Woods was equal to it. So that's why it's a corner. Cross there, and Wicks getting it away. 1-1. And the ball crossed in there by Graham Wilkins, and they didn't make a very good fist at getting this away, Rangers, to be honest. It wasn't a very good header, fell invitingly and hit on the volley there by Gary Chivers. 1-1. Well, that will really open up the game now. Waddock, Curry, tapping it through the midfield there, finding Shanks on the far side, played in forward again towards Langley. Oh, my word, and he's missed it. And Barota, you can see the goalkeeper there, absolutely furious there with his defender, Mickey Nutten. And certainly, out of nothing, it suddenly looked as though Queen's Park Rangers had got a beautiful opening for a second goal. As Langley went in there, past Barota, past Nutten, but also past the post. Chivers, the goal scorer, played wide for Rowe. There's a bit more urgency about Chelsea now in this second half, as there needed to be. That'll fall for Stephen Burke. Young winger from Nottingham Forest. He had a lot of pace to him, and he lost his way a little bit there, and then gives it to Britton. Played inside for Fillery. Walker's up there supporting him, and Lee's up there too. Fillery with a shot, and he might get another one. Now playing it to Walker, onto the left foot, and somehow right at the last it was Shanks who got back there to clear the lines for QPR. And that's got him shouting again up there in the shed. And certainly Chelsea looked to be in a good position when the ball suddenly found itself on the left foot of Clive Walker. But a good piece of defence by Don Shanks, and a corner for Chelsea. Colin Vildren with it. Played in low there, and he'll get another go. A little more height on that one. Wicks getting it away, but not very far. Lee turning it back there, but a goal kick. So it's a good atmosphere. And a promising conclusion to this game with 10 minutes of the second half gone, and Chelsea back at 1-1. Break by Langley at one end that looked as though it must bring a second goal, and suddenly Walker too high for Wicks, and look how well he timed his run. A bit of acceleration there, took it well as Woods came out, but wide of the goal.
Wilkins. Back to Barota. And Colin Lee, as everybody remembers, scored 4 goals in his first game at Tottenham. That was against Bristol Rovers. And that's a free kick to Chelsea. So the wall is there. That's the view of Chris Woods. Phil John behind this free kick. And hit superbly! Well, the man who a week ago wanted a transfer is now embraced by his goalkeeper and club captain, who ran nearly half the length of the field to say, well done, what an amazing free kick. But no, as this slow motion, as we see again now, is an indirect free kick. And Viljoen hits it straight into the net, so it's been disallowed. Still 1-1. And Stephen Burke's going off for Queen's Park Rangers, who are bringing on their substitute, Warren Neal. There goes Burke. On the far side there, the 17-year-old substitute, Warren Neal, for Queen's Park Rangers. Waddock playing it in there for Langley. Nicked on there for Wayne Faraday, the 17-year-old, but surrounded by Chelsea men. Still gets his shot in. As though suddenly it was going to come for the young Birmingham boy. Turn and shot, but screwed it wide of Barota's goal. And Chelsea are taking off Clive Walker. A few boos from the crowd for that, bringing on John Bumstead. QPR sensing that just a few seconds remaining, with the crowd flooding away now, but a point is theirs. Well, this is a blatant bit of time wasting now. Wicks finding Gillard. Planted forward again as the final whistle goes. It's a 1-1 draw. Tommy Langley having scored for Queen's Park Rangers in the first half. And Rangers, I suppose, will be happy with an away point. It also means that Chelsea, there's Tommy Langley, it means also, of course, that Chelsea have still to register their first win of the season, but at least that goal in the second half from Gary Chivers provided them with a point at least. So a final score then here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1.
This Chelsea side have taken 14 points from the last possible 16. A run of 6 wins and 2 draws, which has sent them hurrying up the second division table from 20th to 5th. So they're expecting a big welcome from the Stamford Bridge crowd. There's only one change from the team which won at Orient in midweek, and that's at number 5, where Mickey Droy returns for the injured Colin Pates. At number 7, Phil Driver, a recent buy from Wimbledon, starts a home match for the first time. Newcastle have 3 very new names in their side. At number 3, 18-year-old Chris Wyth, playing his second match today for the first team. He's the youngest brother of Peter Wyth. Number 6, Bruce Halliday, is 19 and making his league debut this afternoon. And number 9, Chris Waddle, a second cousin of Swansea's Alan Waddle, was working in a sausage factory before he signed for Newcastle, but he's done well in the reserves and made his league debut on Wednesday against Shrewsbury. It's exactly a year ago this week since Geoff Hurst was confirmed as manager here at Chelsea, with Bobby Gould as his assistant. Their team missed promotion on goal difference last season. Can they go one better this time, he's wondering. Referee Eric Reid of Bristol gets Chelsea going from right to left in the blue strip. Newcastle in the stripes with white shorts. John Bumstead for Chelsea to Mickey Droy. Number 3 is Dennis Roth. Mike Fillery, number 8. was Halliday getting his first touch in league football for Newcastle. He's wearing number 6 for them. Clive Walker, the Chelsea captain recently. Billy Rafferty to pass right. Martin, Carney. There's Waddle. That was away by Nutton. There's Mick Martin again. Over to Chris Wyth, another of the newcomers. Bobby Shinton flicking it on to Rafferty. Turned back by Gary Chivers, who's wearing number 6, but you'll find him more in the right-back position because Graham Wilkins is out for some weeks with a dislocated shoulder. This time it's Colin Lee who's penalised, been in good form recently for Chelsea. Bone to take the kick for Newcastle. Roy heading it back to the opposite number 5. Oh, and here's a chance as Shinton goes in and Barotta makes a fine save. Chelsea's defence caught out as they came out, and Bobby Shinton had a clear shooting chance. He's normally very accurate in front of goal. He was on target, but Barotta reacting well. There's Shinton again with the turn and shots. Returned by Halliday. Oh, and Barotta only half made that. And Colin Lee completes the clearance. Still Newcastle on the ball, though, with Wharton. Looking for Waddle. And the goalkeeper for the moment, very busy indeed. That was a very good reflex save from the Yugoslav keeper, who's so popular here at Stamford Bridge. Lee, Bumstead, Fillery. Looks for Rhodes Brown on the inside of Steve Carney, who intercepted well. Fillery. This is Nutton. Good ball. Driver. 2 newcomers to the second division there, Driver and Wyth. Lee! Colin Lee scores for Chelsea. And that celebrates an anniversary for him, because it's 3 years ago to the day since Colin Lee scored 4 goals in his first game for Spurs in that 9-0 win over Bristol Rovers. And this afternoon he scores 1 for Chelsea to put them in front against Newcastle. It's Lee's 8th goal of the season. Oh, flicked right across, and Bone couldn't get his shot in, and Shinton tried as well. And Colin Lee there was back in defence. And here's Clive Walker. Good ball to Driver, and Driver sees his shot come off the feet of goalkeeper Carr. So Rowe takes the throw and finds Lee. That's a foul again by Bohm. Those two are having quite a tussle. Stuart Bohm, number 5, and Colin Lee, the Chelsea number 9, who scored the only goal so far. Fillery's shot, it's in. So simple from Mike Fillery. That's his second goal of the week. Barotta celebrates. Fillery scored from further out than that at Orient on Tuesday night. Scores again today. A left foot shot, beautifully placed from the free kick into the corner of the net. Rhodes Brown. Fillery in space, well found too, lovely pass. And player out to the right is Driver. Good move this by Chelsea. Pulls it back, Fillery! Half save, Walker! Walker put the ball in the net. Slight argument after he'd scored with Mick Martin, I think. But it's 3-0 to Chelsea. Shinton. Martin. Bone. Carney. Rafferty, foul though, by Rowe. Is up there, good save, Barotta. Stuart Bone's header. Here comes Mick Martin. Looking for Rafferty. That's Gary Chivers, linesman flags. Free kick to Chelsea. Beautiful play again from Mike Fillery, and look at that from Driver. Lee! Oh, good save by Carr. That looked like 4-0, and Colin Lee's second. Lovely cross by Driver. Header by Lee, and Carr a very, very good save. Newcastle, who start the second half 3 goals down, have never had very much luck here at Stamford Bridge. The last time they won here was way back in April 1954, when Ron Greenwood was playing centre-half for Chelsea. Here's Mick Martin, though. Walker, who scored Chelsea's third. This fixture over the years has tended to produce a lot of goals. I well recall my father bringing me to a match here some years ago when Chelsea beat Newcastle 6-5. So perhaps it's one of those matches which seem to produce the goals. 3 so far for Chelsea today. Here's Driver. Lee going in. Oh! Well, it does produce the goals, doesn't it? And Colin Lee has got 2 today now. And again, the supply line was this outside right, Phil Driver. What a match he's having. So much is emanating from the Chelsea right. Driver in possession again, got the ball across, and Colin Lee put it away, making it 9 now for him in the last 9 games. Here's Mick Martin. Waddle. Martin again. Wharton. Played in for Cartwright. Nutton's tackle. It's Fillery. Lee, this first time football of Chelsea is a joy to watch. There goes Walker. Oh, he's got a player free on this side if he can find him. Chivers! What a tremendous run from the back by Gary Chivers. That was superb football by Chelsea again. It started off with Walker laying the ball back. Lee was involved then. Fillery played the ball down to Walker. Walker made the space, and Gary Chivers had come, well, how many yards? Over half the length of the pitch, certainly, to make it 5-0 to Chelsea. This is the biggest pasting that Newcastle have taken since Arthur Cox on the left there in the raincoat became manager. So the Chelsea manager making a late appearance on the touchline. Going for the 1-2, here's Cartwright. Carney moving forward. And losing out. Rhodes Brown's done an awful lot of good foraging on that left-hand side. Colin Lee is moving into the centre now. Here's Rhodes Brown taking on Cartwright. Lee! Oh, what a fine goal! score 6-0. A credit, first of all, to Peter Rhodes-Brown for a tremendous piece of foraging down the left-hand side, winning it, running with it, holding it, finally delivering it. Colin Lee flung himself forward to head it in. And Chelsea just putting the cap now on a really fine performance. An offside decision there back in the Chelsea penalty area. Swinton, Coonan, With, and won back by Gary Chivers. That's a foul by Willie Rafferty. And a huge roar greets a fine Chelsea performance. Bobby Gould and Geoff Hurst can afford to feel well pleased this weekend. Chelsea winning by 6 goals to 0 to take their current record to 16 points out of 18.
Hutchings was a bricklayer playing for Harrow Borough in the Isthmian League. 31 minutes into the game, he made his debut as a substitute for Mike Fillery. 7 minutes later, he scored his first goal. Clive Walker created the chance. And Hutchings doesn't even check his stride.
First, when Lee's shot, blocked by Davis in the bar, is rammed in by Ian Britton. But it was in the second half when Wrexham's shortage of fullbacks was deliberately exploited by bringing on substitute Phil Driver. A tremendous run here. Claims afterwards that he was offside before he started, but he looks okay, and nothing wrong with the finish either. Well, that had come immediately after Wrexham had a strong penalty appeal turned down, and the combination of the two blows gave Chelsea total command. This is Clive Walker this time. Straight through the soft centre of defence, and Chelsea were on their way to maintaining a fine away record, their 7th game without defeat. So back to the wings for the last one, and it's Driver who hit the ball over for Colin Lee to head a simple goal. 4-0 to Chelsea, and they were the only side in the top 7 of the division to win this weekend.
That's a good ball from Masson to Harku. Can he get on the end of it? He has. Super goal. He's only been on the pitch about a minute and a half, and Jimmy Cyril, the Notts County manager, is up and dancing with delight. Well, that all started when Hunt lost the ball, then recovered the situation, set up Masson, a fine pass from him, and Harcook's finishing was exemplary. Notts County 1, Chelsea 0. Benjamin, which meant he had to go backwards. Here's Rhodes-Brown. That's for Chivers going forward. Driver will take on Benjamin. Good skill from him. And the cross, the header in, it's there. Well, celebrations going on there. Really good, skillful play from Driver. Beat the fullback, all ends up. And it's Bumstead who's receiving the congratulations of his teammates. So 1-1, and Chelsea pulled it out of the fire.
It's Tommy Taylor. Peter Barota. And everything starting from rope at the moment. Rhodes-Brown.
The other goalkeeper is Mervyn Day. These days wearing a tash. He's had it for about a month. Formerly, of course, with West Ham United, for whom he played in the cup final. Very quiet start, with both goalkeepers getting a feel of the ball without being extended in any way. So much used to Bumstead. Moores. Parsons, Taylor, Bowles. I don't think even Bowles actually played for that. Moores again. Bowles. Roughing. Walker is forward with no chance of collecting. Here's Tommy Taylor. Taylor has yet to find his passing rhythm. And here's Peter Taylor. It's Gary Chivers who's come across. Mayo going into the middle. Moores is already there. And that is a goal at last for Joe Mayo. That's his first of the season. And Peter Taylor, who's been scoring goals, lays one on for Joe Mayo. He was joint top scorer last season, Mayo, but it's taken until today for him to get on the score sheet this season. Well, perhaps recovering from the exhaustions of early morning shopping. Now suddenly been brought to life by the away side's goal. Peter Barota's had 6 clean sheets out of the last 7 matches before today. The only side to score here in that run was Derby County, and they went on to win the match 3-1. Mayo. Bowles. Walker. Roffey across, Walker picks it up. Here's Britton, and a good save by Mervyn Day. Quick to the angle of the 6-yard box. Britton was in with a clear shooting chance. And Day was off his line very quickly. Walker who made the break. Britton who found the space, and Day who cut it down with some speed. Joy up in the 6-yard box. One by Fisher. Here's Stan Bowles. Sure the fullback would have appreciated that pass. Got a knock on the instep. Lock. Rhodes Brown free this side. Massive players in the area. One of them is Joy. And it was a good enough cross, but the header troubled neither goalkeeper nor defender on the line. And that defender was Parsons. Lee made the bounce work well for himself. Peter Taylor adjusts to have fouled the busy Britain. The observations from Taylor were made at sufficient distance for Mr. Lloyd to ignore them. Again, there's a gang of 4 moving left to right. And it was Joe Mayo who put it out. Slight inquest going on. Mervyn Day calming it down. Joy coming out of the 6-yard box, gets the header, and Lee puts it top. Not a move that we see quite often these days. A player taking a position on the goal line, as Joy did then, moving out to the edge of the 6-yard box as the corner is taken. And his flick on failed to find the proper footing for Colin Lee, who scooped it over. With less possession, Orient are still making it count more as we pick up the match in the second half. Chelsea, though, have Phil Driver on in place of the injured Dennis Rowe. Joy with his arms around Mayo. It's the referee's verdict. Bowles takes quickly. Parsons. Taylor. Parsons. Goal kick. Breton. Referee playing the advantage. The ball with Breton. Trying to set up Lee. Good play both by Gray and by Mervyn Day. They both converged on Lee, but it was a very useful looking ball from Ian Breton. And increases the volume of noise from the popular end, which is the one that Mervyn Day is now defending, in front of the shed. Joy. And away by Parsons, but just simply out of territory. Bumstead. Federer doing a bit of a Robin Cousins. Rhodes-Brown outside, it's a bit short, but here's Walker. Driver this side, most intense pressure that Chelsea have yet applied. And a chance for a break. Forward Peter Taylor. Federer across, timed his challenge beautifully. On the edge of the promotion race in 7th place at the start of this afternoon's match with 24 points. Chelsea in 2nd place with 29. Some 3 adrift of the leaders West Ham. Walker. So far not had one of his better afternoons, Sly Walker. Overhit the pass, Godfrey unable to take it. Bowles. Mayo. A loose one from him. Driver. Lock on the overlap, number 2. 3 in the middle. Teasing one, although nobody actually coming in on it from the far angle. But the crowd obviously pleased to see Driver. Britain to take, Rhodes-Brown in the 6-yard box, Joy just outside. It's going to come very comfortably for Moores. Walker, Chivers, and off the head of Lee and off the crossbar. They would have had no chance with that, and I'm sure that Chivers was intending to shoot, but it came off the forehead of Lee and then off the crossbar. This is Rhodes-Brown. by Tommy Taylor. There's Ian Moores. And can Bowles collect that? Moores arriving on the far side. And Barossa between the task and the player waiting to collect. Moore really had a golden chance then to wrap that all up. Now driver for Chelsea. Round Roffey. And turned away. Too many people knew too much about that. Disappointing end from Fillery. Barossa certainly keeping Chelsea in the match. Bowles was really too precise for his own good in trying to find Ian Moores, who was waiting to the goalkeeper's right. Moore in throw. I doubt if Bowles will sprint for it, and he couldn't catch it either. Mayo. That's a useful turn. Britton, Fillery, referee running with hand, holding watch that he's looking at. And the last try through the mud, I suspect. Moores. And Taylor ends with the ball. And it was Taylor who supplied the cross for the one goal, for which Joe Mayo waited 25 matches in total, League and Cup, but it's a goal which has decided this match and given the team led by Tommy Taylor 2 very important points, denying those points to Chelsea, who
But now let's start with the action at Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea, without a win so far this season, took on Queen's Park Rangers, managed, of course, by the former Chelsea boss, Tommy Docherty. 2 clubs who will be looking for a good run in the second division this season. And for Tommy Langley, it was a very special day.
A fortnight ago, Tommy Langley was on the Chelsea team sheet for their opening game of the season. And then came his move to Queen's Park Rangers, and Tommy fears for a hostile reception from the disappointed Chelsea fans today. He says he's not slept too well for the worry of it all, but he's getting a welcome there at any rate from a photographer. I think you can expect no favours today from his best chum in football, Chelsea's Clive Walker. They were almost inseparable on and off the field while they were here together at Stamford Bridge. This then is the Chelsea side. A late change. Mickey Droy, the big defender, has got slight ligament trouble in his left leg. It's an old injury, and he finds it hard to play 2 games a week early in the season on hard grounds. Colin Pates takes his place. Colin Viljoen comes into the midfield, and Colin Lee comes in up front. Queen's Park Rangers, meanwhile, well, Tommy Docherty has never fought shy of pitching youngsters into the battle, so 17-year-old Wayne Faraday is back in the attack today after a touch of flu, and another 17-year-old Warren Neal is the substitute. Another Chelsea old boy back here today, of course, is Steve Ricks, who played over 100 league games here for Chelsea. To say nothing of Ken Shillito, puffing away at a cigarette there, who was not only a player but also a manager here at Chelsea. And the referee today is Brian Daniels from Brentwood. And it's Queen's Park Rangers then, who kick off attacking the goal to our right in a chain strip today of red and white half shirts and black shorts. Chelsea in all blue. Long throw, and Wicks had gone up for it. Barossa with a safe catch. Chivers, fouled by Waddock. A clumsy one. I don't think it was any more intentional than that. He's only 18, Gary Waddock, already played 3 times for the Republic of Ireland. Phil John with the free kick, Lee with the header, and Rhoda grateful to be able to hook that one away before Colin Pates came in. So Fillery will
take the throw. Chris Woods, the Rangers keeper. Played for Walker. Oh, that's played too hard for Rove. And again, Rangers, well, they came out with speed and discipline, and again caught Chelsea a little bit sleepy coming out there. Gillard. Rangers throw. Here's Langley. Played down there for Curry. The dive of Barota foiled him. Curry played that ball just a little too powerfully. It was a nice little chest down though by Langley. Rofe. Oh, that's no problem, except that McCreary then almost gave it away to Walker, just recovered in time. And they're making trouble for themselves there, QPR. Now Viljoen again for Chelsea. Chivers coming forward, Langley coming back at him. Oh, it'll come for Walker. No foul, and Rick slides in to make the clearance for QPR. Crowd encouraged though by that little flurry from Chelsea, and it's with Fillery. Faraday. And Waddock going in again, and Walker letting one go from a long way out. Woods couldn't hold it. A real rasping left foot shot there by Clive Walker. Made that little bit of a space for himself and hit powerfully enough for Woods not to be able to get it first time. And now Curry, McCreary. Free kick, the foul by Fillery. Tony Curry played there for Langley. Just look how closely Nutton, who's marking him, has really stuck to that job well. Faraday, Waddock, and Shanks playing it in there towards Langley. Well, he's come back here and he's silenced the crowd that's booed him with a goal for QPR after 17 and a half minutes. The crowd is stunned by that. Langley's first goal for Queen's Park Rangers, and it's come at the place he would want it to be, and the QPR supporters are delighted with that. They're not. It was a lovely cross by Shanks. Played out wide there. Don Shanks playing it in there. Langley in there. The marking not too good. Barota came and then stopped for a moment, and there's the ball in the back of the net. Tommy Langley making it Chelsea 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Wicks with a header. Britton planting it forward again towards Clive Walker. Well, there were people who were available, and Waddock went into him in the end. And I think Gary Waddock will go and have a name taken and gets, as you see, a yellow card from referee Brian Daniels. Well, I must say Walker was inviting that sort of challenge. It doesn't condone it by any means, as Waddock goes in there. Well, he was a mile away from the ball, but the thing that astonishes me is how it was that Clive Walker hadn't played it off before that. Now, can Chelsea pull back that Tommy Langley goal? It's with Wilkins, driven a long way there, and a chance there for Lee. Oh, and he missed his kick, and at the second time it was saved well by Woods. Well, Lee missed his kick, and that's not the first time that Chris Woods hasn't gathered the ball at the first go, as Graham Wilkins hammers one in there from some 30 yards, and it looked as though Lee might get that one, and when he got it the second time, Woods pushed it away. So here's the corner with Walker taking it, curling right in there. Fillery, and a Chelsea throw. Nutton played in for Lee, played on first time by Britton. Wicks is there for Queen's Park Rangers. Curry. Well, he almost gave that to Lee, and Roeder was able to make the repairs. Shanks getting in there, very forthright indeed, and Langley on the chase again. Nothing's there with him. He's got Faraday waiting in the middle, played nicely by Langley for Faraday, and Langley coming in, and Faraday, no! Somehow they kept it out. That was amazing. It was some tremendous play there in the first place by Tommy Langley. And it looked a surefire second goal. He's so aware that Faraday's there, pulls it back superbly for him. Chelsea make the challenge. Langley comes in there again. Somehow Barota saves it, and then it's cleared away that time by Chivers. Waddock, Roeder, Curry, it's David McCreary, Shanks, and just onside again is Wayne Faraday. Back for Curry. A bit of space there for Waddock or for Shanks to close in on it. It's Waddock, in fact, who finds Shanks. Burke coming in with a little guided header now for Langley. And Curry trying to curl one, and Barota turning it away. Tony Curry's speciality, of course. Ball's hit with a curl. And there with the outside of the right boot, curling around the Chelsea defender. That would have just gone inside the post, but for the dive of Barota. So Rangers with a corner, which Curry will take. Wayne Faraday, the number 7, going across there also. Now it's with Curry again. Rangers get the throw. Good long throw there again, but nothing getting there for Chelsea. Walker, but Waddock there. Nice little touch there by Burke, but Waddock presenting Chelsea with a goal kick. Rofe. That'll skid through forwards. McCreary. Shanks. Lee trying to do a dummy there, and quite rightly getting a free kick. It was obstruction by Ian Gillard, well spotted by the referee. And it's with Ian Britton. Cleared by McCreary. Britton again, doing so much running, little Ian Britton, number 7 here to try and get his side going. And Rofe didn't quite keep the offside trap there. His run wasn't quite timed, but that's maybe the way to do it, is to get somebody from deep to make a well-timed run. As the ball was played, in fact, it wasn't Rofe offside, it was someone trying to come back from an offside position. Rofe was perfectly okay. Waddock, it's a touch for Burke. And that's Rofe just flicking that wide of Langley for the Rangers throw. Shanks with the throw. Here's Curry. He could cause mischief in that sort of position, and he just got that up and away. But there's Waddock, and a great save there by Barota from Gary Waddock. Yeah, they really haven't done all that well in defence. And the challenge by Roeder a little too fierce on Lee, and he's almost wrestled to the floor there by Glenn Roeder, being given a few words of advice by Tony Curry, but I think the referee will also want to have a word with Glenn Roeder, just to calm it down. But let's have a look at that save by Barota. Curry did so well. That wasn't a very good headed clearance, and Waddock really took advantage of that situation, hit it superbly. What a good piece of keeping. And here come Rangers again, as Curry tries to get Langley on his way. And certainly Langley has caused this Chelsea defence a little bit of trouble. He's always been a great runner. I think in a way it's sad that the fans have been booing him today, because he ran his legs off here for Chelsea for a number of seasons. A real wholehearted player. And here's Langley again. Oh, and another good piece of keeping there by Barota, as Langley whipped round on that one and got it down by the post. And he's turning on the ball and giving himself half a chance all the time, Tommy Langley. Rofe. Queen's Park Rangers have a really good record against Chelsea. Chelsea have won only one of the last 10 league games these two clubs have played. And in fact, it was a 2-0 victory here for QPR at the beginning of April that really, in many ways, killed off. That was the one vital result that killed off Chelsea's promotion prospects. And here they are, leading at half-time by 1-0. And the storybook quality of the first half is, of course, that it was Tommy Langley, only a fortnight ago, a Chelsea player, who scored the only goal with that header. Got a fair amount of booing from the crowd, and I suppose he would say that's the best way to answer them. So the half-time score then here at Stamford Bridge is Chelsea 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1. So Chelsea got us away at the start of the second half, anxious to make good the goal that Tommy Langley scored for QPR in the first half. I think one of the things they've got to do straight away is to get some of their midfield men in more forward attacking positions, in the way that Curry and young Gary Waddock and Don Shanks have been doing in the first half for Queen's Park Rangers. And certainly Ian Britton is one man who will need to inspire his Chelsea team during the next 45 minutes. Langley off once more, and that time it was Colin Pates, but it's Waddock playing the ball through for Faraday, and he quickly thought that he would just chest it down. That was a good bit of thinking by the 17-year-old. Now the ball with Langley again. He's gone past Rove. A good cross called for. Faraday trying to get on the end of it. Burke is right in there. Chelsea were in a bit of a muddle there for a moment, and they get it away now to Graham Wilkins. Walker, who's got the dash and the verve up front to save them, if only he can find the right sort of run and the right sort of service. Colin Vildren with the throw. Here's Wilkins, played in again for Walker. A little touch by him for Britton. And Gillard bringing him down. A free kick to Chelsea. In there towards Lee, and a great save there by Chris Woods from Ian Britton. Well, that was a case of a midfielder getting into a good shooting position, and Woods was equal to it. So that's why it's a corner. Cross there, and Wicks getting it away. 1-1. And the ball crossed in there by Graham Wilkins, and they didn't make a very good fist at getting this away, Rangers, to be honest. It wasn't a very good header, fell invitingly and hit on the volley there by Gary Chivers. 1-1. Well, that will really open up the game now. through the midfield there, finding Shanks on the far side, played in forward again towards Langley. Oh, my word, and he's missed it. And Barota, you can see the goalkeeper there, absolutely furious there with his defender, Mickey Nutten. And certainly, out of nothing, it suddenly looked as though Queen's Park Rangers have got a beautiful opening for a second goal. As Langley went in there, past Barota, past Nutten, but also past the post. Chivers, the goal scorer, played wide for Rowe. There's a bit more urgency about Chelsea now in this second half, as there needed to be. That'll fall for Stephen Burke. Young winger from Nottingham Forest. He had a lot of pace to him, and he lost his way a little bit there, and then gives it to Britton. Played inside for Fillery. Walker's up there supporting him, and Lee's up there too. Fillery with a shot, and he might get another one. Now playing it to Walker, onto the left foot, and somehow right at the last it was Shanks who got back there to clear the lines for QPR. And that's got him shouting again up there in the shed. And certainly Chelsea looked to be in a good possession when the ball suddenly found itself on the left foot of Clive Walker. But a good piece of defence by Don Shanks in the corner for Chelsea. Colin Viljoen with it. Played in low there, and he'll get another go. A little more height on that one. Wicks getting it away, but not very far. Lee turning it back there, but a goal kick. So it's a good atmosphere. And a promising conclusion to this game with 10 minutes of the second half gone, and Chelsea back at 1-1. By Langley at one end that looked as though it must bring a second goal, and suddenly Walker too high for Wicks, and look how well he timed his run. A bit of acceleration there, took it well as Woods came out, but wide of the goal. Wilkins back to Barota. And Colin Lee, as everybody remembers, scored 4 goals in his first game at Tottenham. That was against Bristol Rovers. And that's a free kick to Chelsea. So the wall is there. That's the view of Chris Woods. Viljoen behind this free kick. And hit superbly! Well, the man who a week ago wanted a transfer is now embraced by his goalkeeper and club captain, who ran nearly half the length of the field to say, well done, what an amazing free kick. But no, as this slow motion, as we see again now, is an indirect free kick. And Viljoen hits it straight into the net, so it's been disallowed. Still 1-1. And Stephen Burke's going off for Queen's Park Rangers, who are bringing on their substitute, Warren Neal. There goes Burke. On the far side there, the 17-year-old substitute, Warren Neal, for Queen's Park Rangers. Waddock playing it in there for Langley. Nicked on there for Wayne Faraday, the 17-year-old, but surrounded by Chelsea men. Still gets his shot in. As though suddenly it was going to come for the young Birmingham boy. Turned and shot, but screwed it wide of Barota's goal. And Chelsea are taking off Clive Walker. A few boos from the crowd for that, bringing on John Bumstead. QPR sensing that just a few seconds remaining, with the crowd flooding away now. But the point is theirs. Well, this is a blatant bit of time wasting now. Ricks finding Gillard. Planted forward again as the final whistle goes. It's a 1-1 draw. Tommy Langley having scored for Queen's Park Rangers in the first half. And Rangers, I suppose, will be happy with an away point. It also means that Chelsea, there's Tommy Langley. It means also, of course, that Chelsea have still to register their first win of the season, but at least that goal in the second half from Gary Chivers provided them with a point at least. So a final score then here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Chelsea field the side that beat Shrewsbury 3-0 last week, thus producing their first goals in 8 league games. It was a day when Alan Mays, their £200,000 signing from Swindon, scored his first league goal for his new club, and also a game where Colin Viljoen was restored to the side to create some order and some openings from the midfield. Well, the Cambridge defence could well be a further test for Chelsea this afternoon. They conceded only 4 goals in the last 8 games, where Steve Fallon and Lindsay Smith are the key men at the back, and Dave Donaldson is the former Millwall defender. Up front is the former West Ham favourite, Alan Taylor. He was always quick at Upton Park, and that might come for Riley, and it might come on the far side for Spriggs. Stopped there by Barotta, and Chelsea were in a lot of trouble there. Taylor, Riley, and then Steve Spriggs here, the skipper, came up quickly from the midfield to get his shot against Barotta. Taylor, and then the little flick on there, and a good one in fact by Riley for Spriggs, and Barotta's save with his right knee. Bumstead's taken up a good position. Troy looking to come forward yet again. That might be just a little too fierce, that pass. No, Locke has done well, crossed it in well, and Key under pressure, and the ball knocked into the back of the net by Lee, but it was always going to be disallowed for the unfair charge on the keeper. But certainly it was very good work indeed by Gary Locke. Troy putting Mays clear just for a moment at any rate, faced by Fallon. Mays with the cross coming in there, and just wide from Bumstead. Mays did well here, found a good cross, and Bumstead came up very quickly from the back. So you can see how crowded that Cambridge 6-yard area is now. As the corner comes floating in, drive! Finally, from the Chelsea number 5, and there it is into the roof of the Cambridge net. A bit of movement now as Viljoen hits the ball straight there and pushed away by Key for the corner. Well, I think the whole Cambridge defence was there looking for somebody on this side of the field, but in fact Viljoen almost squeezed it in by the near post. Mates. Well, he did. It was a better effort, in fact, because Chivers beating the challenge of Finney. Long ball forward by Bumstead. And that's headed down for Mays by Murray. Viljoen wide on the right. And the cross is going to be a little too deep for anybody. No, it's knocked back in there, and Mays has made it 2. Well, Alan Mays, having had 2 misses, certainly put himself about the place and got a good third one. I thought that cross by Viljoen was going to be too long, but it was turned back nicely by Fillery and then turned in by Alan Mays. But no action apart from that taken. There's the cross coming in, and Mays! Well, he scored 2 in a matter of 4 minutes, and that surely has made it safe for Chelsea. from the free kick quickly taken. Gary Locke puts in a lovely cross, and there's Alan Mays. He was bought to do just that.
Referee having a good look at his watch. Chelsea are not only in the goals again, they're in the points again.
3 goals today, just as they had last Saturday against Shrewsbury. 2 of them from Alan Mays after 2 glaring misses. There's a lesson for strikers there. And Mike Fillery, I must say, had a terrific game, particularly in the second half, with some beautiful touches. And Mickey Droy, in every sense, an absolute giant at the back. And indeed, it was his first goal that got Chelsea on the way. Final score then here at Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea 3, Cambridge United 0.
They're on the threshold of First Division football for the first time in their 69-year history. And even this rugby stronghold of South Wales has been fired by the success of John Toshak and his team. John Toshak has enjoyed incredible success at the Betchfield since he took over as manager just over 3 years ago. They've risen from the 4th to the brink of the First Division. James again, Leighton that is, on for Curtis. Oh, a beautiful back heeler for Mahoney. Robbie James supporting him too. And that really would have been a splendid goal. Beautiful flick, setting the Swansea attack in motion then, and Alan Curtis really looking in good form in these early stages. So again the free kick giving Swansea an opportunity to move their big man forward. Nigel Stevenson on the edge of the box, and it came off Pate's head. The clearance dropping straight for Robinson. Oh, and it's gone in! And Swansea get a stroke of luck just when they needed it. 22 minutes gone, and Neil Robinson gets his 6th goal of the season. And Chelsea were never able to cope with the danger from the free kick. And John Toshak, delighted but anxious that Swansea continue to press home that stroke of good fortune. Robinson's shot didn't look particularly sweetly hit. Barota seemed to have it covered, but in the end, his punch only sent the ball swirling into the corner of his own net. Curtis providing good running off the ball and good control with it. Mahoney to Hadziabdic, making space for himself. Well, what a superb goal that was by the Yugoslav. Hadziabdic scores a vital goal, his first ever as a Swansea player, and what a way to open your account. A beautiful build-up by Swansea, and Hadziabdic had the confidence to go forward, and the devastating shot at the end of it, and his Yugoslav colleague Barota never had a hope. Swansea 2, Chelsea 0. Swansea can see the First Division beckoning. Just 2 matches after today, a 2-0 lead. They're playing well, their crowd beginning to get the idea that First Division football might not be far away, and John Toshak's team on the brink of the First Division. To try and wind up for another one of those long throws. In towards Robbie James, and the back header towards Curtis. And Barota then had to produce his acrobatics once more. Here's Fillery, Chivers, and the pressure from Craig, and there could be a break on here for Swansea. Leighton James, Curtis to his left. The defender don't commit himself here, and Curtis has got through the gap. Oh, and it's off the line, or was it? The referee has given the goal. Robbie James makes it 3-0 in the 67th minute. Curtis setting up the goal with that fine run at the Chelsea defence. But he gave the ball to Robbie James. The shot seemed as though it might have crossed the line. The defender's desperate clearance, according to the referee, didn't keep it out, and that's 3-0 to Swansea. And now the Swansea crowd begin to sing "We're Going Up." And certainly things are looking very promising indeed for a side who only 4 seasons ago were in the 4th division. Hadziabdic, Toshak on the left, and Fulbo Erzma on the right. Curtis. Leighton James in support if he needs him. Curtis again. Leighton James winning it then when he seemed he had no hope. Whacking the ball into the side net, and I think the crowd thought that one had gone in. Craig's clearance and a quick counter-attack on here. It's 2 Swansea men against only 1 Chelsea defender at the moment. This is Curtis. Only 1 man between him and Barota, and he very nearly found the space. Good effort by Curtis. The shot swinging away from Barota, but he just managed to get his fingertips to it and take the sting out of it. Craig's clearance gives them another bite. Lee down for Britton, and that was a fine save. Britton struck that well, and it was swinging away from the goalkeeper, Stewart, who not only went down and stopped it, but held it as well. Hadziabdic. Quite an understanding these two have. And that's the final whistle, and a vital win for Swansea. John Toshak has another 2 points. The crowd have another victory to celebrate. And at a time when so many of the 2nd division promotion contenders are showing inconsistency, Swansea have now gone 6 matches without defeat. For Chelsea, though, have gone 12 hours without even a goal. The crowd sing "We're going up," and who would deny them?
Among the other issues settled today, Swansea, who were applying for re-election only 6 years ago, have reached the 1st division for the first time in their history. They won 3-1 at Preston and edge out Blackburn on goal difference. Joining Swansea and West Ham in Division 1, Notts County, back there after 55 years. Chris Jamieson saw them win 2-0 at Chelsea.
Chelsea end this season having played 847 minutes of league soccer without scoring a goal. Clive Walker came close, but today belonged to Notts County. 15 minutes gone, and Trevor Christie put the Midlands team ahead. County built upon their early lead, and it was Rashid Harkouk, once a London player himself, who made it certain that First Division soccer would now come to Meadow Lane. Chelsea had obviously wanted promotion for themselves, and what should have been a day to remember was spoilt by their boorish behaviour. They booed County's 2 black players throughout the match and ended up by invading the pitch. Chris Jamieson, ITN Sport, Stamford Bridge.
In sunshine for this attractive match, which follows in the wake of impressive performances by both clubs in the Football League Cup in midweek. Although they were knocked out by Sunderland, Rotherham gave a spirited performance in the 3-3 draw here. And if today's game is as rich in entertainment as that one, well, nobody will have any complaints. Emlyn Hughes selects an unchanged side, including 18-year-old Ian Alexander at substitute. Only a few months ago, he was playing junior football in his native Glasgow, but on the evidence of his first few opportunities, Rotherham feel they've a real gem for the future. Chelsea gave one of their most fluent performances for a long time on Wednesday to send Southampton packing in the League Cup, and they make one change. Mickey Droy, the club captain, comes into the centre of the defence, so Gary Chivers switches to full-back in place of the injured Gary Locke. Clive Walker was the star of the show on Wednesday, scoring the first goal and making the winner, and he'll have to be watched today. Peter Richardson from Lincoln, the referee for this afternoon's encounter, and a terrific roar going up at the start of the game. Plenty of support for Chelsea here. There's John Breckett. He didn't miss a match last season and has now won his place back in the Rotherham side. both goalkeepers deciding to throw the ball early in this game rather than to kick it. And that's not a good header from John Green, who's captain for the day. All a bit scrappy. That's a good through ball for Walker, who might cross for Lee, or could go himself, and Stancliffe in the end makes sure he does neither. Paul Stancliffe in absolutely magnificent form so far this season. Chelsea still on the offensive. Chivers looking for Lee, and Forrest in quickly. Just shows the interest in this game. Those 5 lads have decided that's the best vantage point for watching Rotherham play Chelsea. Now Towner, who can cause havoc down that flank, as we saw on the opening day of the season. Good little ball in for Gooding, who's scored in the last 2 matches, and I thought he might fancy a try. Fern has got Breckin outside in, could hit it. Oh, good effort from Breckin, and John Breckin has scored. What a dreadful mistake by the goalkeeper Barota, and John Breckin gives Rotherham the perfect start with his 2nd goal of the week.
Well, this is a marvellous move coming up here. It goes across here. Rodney Fern is going to play it under the path of John Breckin, but watch a terrible mistake by Peter Barota. What he's playing at, he's done about 3 mishandles in the game so far, and that's down to bad goalkeeping by Barota.
Through for Henson, who does well to find Towner. That was a good ball, straight to the foot, which is where a winger likes it. And here's Henson again, so he's immediately involved. Tries to turn Hutchings, and the cross is awry. Phil Henson only passed a fitness test yesterday afternoon. Well, Ronnie Moore really is causing a few problems with his size and his weight, and now here's somebody who can, Towner. There's the cross for Fern, and Moore! Oh, and how did he miss from there? Well, I thought Ronnie Moore had got the touch, but obviously it was a Chelsea defender who did. And there's the corner, again looking for Moore, across, and that must be a goal for Fern. Oh, Rodney Fern, he's done it again. Emlyn Hughes is off the bench, and no wonder, a dream start this for Rotherham. Well, Rodney Fern, he scored 2 goals on the opening day of the season when we were here, and he's done it again in front of the cameras in the perfect place at the right time. And what a marvellous start for Rotherham. A long hoof forward, which Gooding might get onto. Oh, and he does, and Barota up his line, collides with him. The referee's got his whistle in his mouth, and I'm not quite sure what he's going to award. It is a penalty. I thought it might be. He took an awful long time to decide, but Barota's challenge on Gooding has brought Rotherham an opportunity for a 3rd goal in the first 13 minutes.
A lovely ball coming up here from John Green, and just watch Mickey Gooding get through on the other side of the defence, and Peter Barota comes out here, bundles him over. The referee, Mr. Richardson, made a fair decision, and a quite right one as well.
13 minutes gone, and here's Ronnie Moore, and it's 3-0. He leaps for joy, and that is the most perfect start to a match 30 minutes gone and Rotherham 3 goals to the good. Well, Ronnie Moore has scored in all but one of Rotherham's home games this season. That's his 8th goal of the season, and I wonder if this match is already beyond Chelsea's reach. Clive Walker, who's the danger man of this Chelsea side, obviously. I think the referee balked him then. Shivers. At long last, they spread the ball wide to Hutchings. Good cross too, and they're queuing up for that one, and it's away by Green. Chelsea still going forward. That's a good ball out to Rhodes-Brown. And a good-looking cross too, and it could have fallen for Fillery, but that was positive goalkeeping from Mountford. That's a lesson for his counterpart at the opposite end. It's a very long kick. Chelsea's defence under terrific pressure again. And you can tell by the looks on the Chelsea faces that they're very, very dispirited. Oof! Gooding is brought clattering down by Bumstead. Henson to Towner. There's the cross from the little fella, and there's the header, and it wasn't a bad one either from Gooding.
Tony Towner's going to get this ball here, and he's on the left wing, but what a player. He's in bang on form at the moment. He's coming across with his left peg, sorry, his right peg at the moment. It's got me excited up here, and a nice effort certainly from Mick Gooding. It could have been the 4th goal.
Well, Chelsea getting a bit of urgency into the play now, and here's Rhodes-Brown, who's got 2 men in the box to aim for. It could come to Walker. He wasn't able to do a lot with it, and so Rhodes-Brown has a second chance. A good crosser of a ball, I'll say that. Stancliffe getting it away to Viljoen. Well, Colin Viljoen hasn't scored a goal for 5 years in the league. It's perhaps his best chance for a long time.
Wonderful cross from Rhodes-Brown coming up. It's going to eventually come out to Colin Viljoen. And I admire all his experiences coming out here. He sees the goalkeeper coming off his line, and this was a nice, delicate little place shot, which was a little bit too high for Ray Mountford.
He wants the free kick taken further back, the throw-in rather, and it's Hutchings who's now got the chance to centre. Doesn't take it. Viljoen will switch it inside to Fillery. That was nice. That's not so nice. And now Fern. Towner again. Really, oh yes, he's still got it in the possession. A good refereeing that time. The referee spotting that Towner was on his feet. There's the cross for Moore. Droy away this time, and that's the corner. Now Mickey Droy really has been under siege along with the rest of them, and you can tell just to look at him. Chelsea defence has been pulled this way and that like a rag doll, and here's this corner which could yet sneak through for Stancliffe, and away by Droy in the nick of time. That's a good play from Walker though, left Breckin for dead then. So approaching half-time, just 120 seconds on the clock as Walker wins a corner for Chelsea. Clive Walker, a lone forager. Here's the corner kick then, which Viljoen is taking. And it's not a bad-looking one either. Put away from Green, and here's Towner yet again, and Henson is streaking down the middle, and it was well for Chelsea that Chivers intercepted that, otherwise it had been 4. Very open first half, this, very entertaining. You see Viljoen being forced back yet again then. And Droy, they really do chase and harry every ball, Rotherham. Well, I think Chelsea will be very, very relieved to hear that whistle blown the next minute or so. Oh, and Gooding will get there. Now, Chivers, really, I thought he might have come forward for that, changed his mind, and they could pay for it. Here's Towner. He wants to go on the outside of the defender. Gooding, more! And I thought that was going to be number 4. Well, that would have finished the half as we started it.
Tony Towner, who really is worth the admission money alone here this afternoon. Great cross coming up, and just watch Peter Baroda making amends for his couple of duffs earlier on in the game. Tremendous save from Ronnie Moore.
And more problems as the ball in the penalty area finally, it's not cleared. Henson back for Gooding, who hit it, and it's not a bad effort from Mick Gooding. Here's Breckin. Breckin with the ball. And Breckin, the man who started the goal route, really, with that 7th minute shot, which Baroda really should have saved, sends Rotherham away, ecstatic to the dressing room. Half-time at Millmoor. Rotherham 3, Chelsea 0. Half underway, and Derek, I wonder really what Emlyn Hughes could have said to his team after that performance.
Well, if he says anything other than, lads, that's the best 45 minutes that I've certainly seen this season. Go out there, I've enjoyed it, the whole crowd's enjoying it. Chelsea have got them really on the hook. Just go out there and enjoy the second half like the first half, John. Simple as that.
Rotherham still coming forward, and Droy this time gets it right. He clears his lines, but Rotherham still coming forward. Apparently Emlyn Hughes has told his team in the dressing room that he wasn't entirely happy with the first half. He thinks they can do better. Well, I suppose that's a perfectionist at work. And there's another one, Jerry Forrest. I think Emlyn Hughes must have been delirious with the first 13 minutes and perhaps a little greedy. He wanted more goals after that. And there is Lee, and there is Stancliffe with him. And guess who wins? Now he's got to chase back because Rhodes Brown is there, and that's a very good cross too. He does cross a ball exceedingly well, I must say. That's not a bad clearance either. Well, Droy was in sharpish there on Ronnie Moore, and that is going to be the first name of the afternoon in referee Richardson's book. And I think he knows who Mickey Droy is. We didn't need telling. And Breckin. Moore and Pates. Henson has 2 men to aim for. There's Fern. Towner was behind him. So was Droy, who was rather taller. And that's why we've got a corner. Come on, you Reds, shout the crowd. I think they want another goal. And Henson will try and provide it from this corner. Up goes Baroda, a punch which isn't going to clear the lines very far. Stancliffe, and Baroda was in the right place at the right time then. Now Walker and Lee trying to build something for Chelsea. Again, it's not a very quick build-up, but Rhodes concedes a free kick. Well, Chelsea will be disappointed with this performance, having beaten Southampton with a very fine performance in midweek. They've really shown very little here, but they might now with Droy. Trying to get it to Lee. Droy's still up there with Walker now, and Clive Walker was unlucky. That really was a good effort, and Walker also thinks he should have had a corner.
Well, Chelsea had a lovely opportunity here. Very, very good ball from Chivers into the box, which certainly Mickey Droy does very, very well. It's eventually going to come out here to Clive Walker, and what an effort from Clive Walker, who's been their best player. If anyone's going to score a goal, or looks like scoring the goals, it's certainly Clive Walker. A marvellous effort from just over the top.
Now Chivers finds Rejean. Could try one, but decides to play it to Fillery, and that's one back by Forrest, who's got Fern, and he's got Moore, who's onside. He could clip the goalkeeper. Well, he's round him. Oh, and Barota tried to. Well, that's got to be a free kick against the goalkeeper. It's outside the area. Well, he's a showman. You say, well, what else could I have done? Ronnie Moore might have done better to try and clip him. And Barota agrees. His name has to go into the book.
Well, there's an incredible break. I just watched this here, Peter Barota. The only way he can stop Ronnie Moore. It reminded me of that incident in the World Cup a couple of years ago when one of the foreign goalkeepers did exactly the same.
And a free kick for Rotherham. Naturally, Towner takes it. Headed away by Lee. Tracked from Breckin. And out again by Rhodes Brown. Chelsea player who gets the ball seems to be under constant tackling and pressure from Rotherham. You never see a Chelsea player in much space. And here's one who is Lee. Except Forrest is with him. Has to turn it back, and that's not a bad cross again. And that's a good header from Fillery. And Mountford stretching for the first time almost this afternoon. So half an hour of the game to go as Chelsea come forward, and this is perhaps the best they've done, and Gooding entering into a little bit of a wrestling match with Fillery. So a free kick for Chelsea, clipped forward by Fillery. There's Droy, he's still there, he's an awkward customer, and it's away. The blue shirt's coming forward again, and here's Rhodes Brown, who beat Forrest, not Gooding. Well worked out of defence by Henson. And Towner, but not quite forward. Good play by Fillery. Now Viljoen. They really have to find a way of prizing out the Rotherham defence now, don't do it with passes like that. Town has passed Hutchins again, he really has given him quite a roasting. And he's going to get the cross in for Moore at the far post, and that's a fine effort by the Rotherham centre forward. Excellent play there.
The balls with Tony Towner, my word, he's on form, he's on song, he's ready to turn it inside out, and a wonderful cross coming up where Ronnie Moore wasn't far away from his second goal.
Here's Droy, who revels in going forward. He really might as well now with Chelsea in this position. And Fillery, who can hit them. Good ball forward for Walker. His control is good, but on that occasion he was robbed. And Henson desperate for it on the far side, and Moore is away again. Well, this time Barota can't bring him down. Moore's inside the area. There's the give. It must surely go in the net. And it does, and it's Rodney Fern again.
Mick Gooding saw Ronnie Moore on his own. He broke through. I thought he was going to score his second goal himself, but just keep him going. And Peter Barota gets his hands to it. But Rodney Fern, the other part of the striking partnership, does very, very well to put that into the back of the net. Tremendous goal by Rodney Fern.
Oh, well won again by Gooding. Phil Journ was there to tidy up. Stancliffe again for Forest. Chelsea are beginning to look a little ragged, and they certainly must feel it. And now Breckin's passed this man, and oh really, Gary Chivers then. That was a very bad tackle. And he shouldn't run away from the referee either, because he must know he's going to be booked for that. Well, referee Richardson has to book Chivers because Breckin had gone past the man and there was no attempt to win the ball. Hutchings. Oh, now Fern, and he's got Gooding running in the centre-forward position, but he'll use Towner. And Hutchings must dread the sight of Towner coming at him, and there's the cross for Fern! Oh, what a goal! And what a hat-trick for Rodney Fern! And no wonder he takes the applause of the crowd and jumps for joy. It's 5-0, and Rodney Fern has got 3 of them.
Without being biased, if there's a better outside right in the United Kingdom than Tony Towner on his form this afternoon, I have yet to see it. What a cross, and just watch the timing of Rodney Fern. Leaves Peter Barota absolutely stranded.
Well, the Rotherham supporters have had plenty to sing about this afternoon. No wonder they're in good voice. They've seen 5, they want 6. And here's Jerry Forrest, who'd love to provide them with it. And here's Towner, the man who really has got them ticking. And there's the cross for Moore and for Fern. Here's Henson. Could it be 6? And there, oh, thought it was going to come to Fern. Gooding, who deserves a goal for his endeavour. Moore, it really is anybody's, and that is a good save from Barota. Phil Henson denied.
Well, the ball's bubbling up and down here. Chelsea defenders don't get it cleared in time. It's eventually going to come certainly to Phil Henson, and what a save certainly by Peter Barota.
Well, there's the Chelsea substitute Alan Mays. The last time he played here, he got a hat-trick on his debut for Swindon. He's about to come into the action. Not for the moment though, because Chelsea have this free kick, trying to get something back through Lee, who's bundled over, and that's a penalty. And it was John Green who knocked Colin Lee off the ball. And that is a penalty undoubtedly, and I don't think even the crowd here mind that, with 5 goals already in the Chelsea net. So John Bumstead has the chance to pull something back for Chelsea, a little bit of self-respect maybe. And there's Bumstead, and I think he dived too soon. The linesman's flag is up, and it's got to be taken again. And I wonder where John Bumstead will put it this time. Whistle, and he saved it a second time. But Hutchings must score, and he can't. Well, that really does sum up Chelsea's afternoon. A double penalty save by Ray Mountford, and then Hutchings following up. Couldn't complete the job, and this just is not Chelsea's day, is it? The referee didn't like that free kick. Breckin taking it too quickly. The ball was in motion. That one wasn't, so that one's okay. And Towner now turns up on the left. What a tormentor. The cross from Breckin, and Ronnie Moore! That is a brilliant goal. Oh, that was superbly worked between Towner and Breckin, and the finish from Ronnie Moore, absolutely devastating. 6-0, and how the crowd have loved it.
John Breckin, good move between Tony Towner and John Breckin. What a beautiful cross. And just watch a glancing header from Ronnie Moore. Again, that leaves Peter Barota stranded.
Free kick by Breckin, and this time Hutchings can get it away. Lee can't. Oh, and that's a desperate back pass from Viljoen to Moore, and he's missed the 7. Well, that would have been the easiest hat-trick of Ronnie Moore's life. And look at that reaction from him.
Look at this is how it's going for Chelsea. Colin Viljoen knocks it back to his goalkeeper, Peter Barota, but it doesn't realise that Ronnie Moore is coming in here at great speed. And I thought, under the circumstances, I thought, Ronnie, you could have scored out your hat-trick there.
So we've 2 minutes of this remarkable game to go. Goodings there again, and well, he was a bit unfortunate, I think, to be penalised. Chelsea's free kick. And that's looking for Droy, who could get a goal. He can't, because Mountford was alive to the situation, and what a fine save. So, Clive Walker in the corner, and Lee will get there for the header, and Rodford will turn it back to his goalkeeper. I'm glad he didn't think he was at the other end. Injury time now then, and I thought the referee was going to bring this game to a close, but just playing a little bit of extra time for Chelsea to come forward with Lee and Stancliffe. Splendid match Stancliffe has had. Well, it's a long time since Chelsea have had a roasting like this. Emlyn Hughes will go away and celebrate the biggest win under his management. No matter what happens now, it's Chelsea playing out time, really. Fillery, just Haskell out of it, and there is the roar from the crowd. 10,145 people have seen a marvellous exhibition, and Rodney Fern gets a hat-trick. What a day for Rodney Fern, and Ronnie Moore got 2 of the goals, with the first one having come from John Breckin. A wonderful afternoon for Rotherham. Chelsea completely annihilated and humiliated. Final score here at Millmoor, Rotherham United.
Although, as Julian Wilson might put it, the going is decidedly firm. George Anstis and his staff have had to work hard on the pitch, removing a certain amount of snow and ice, and it will be pretty slippery on the near side because of the shadow of the old stand. On the pitch, it's an afternoon for the brave, and on the terraces for the hardy, and we hope the spectators there are full of the festive spirit. And their team has certainly been going well of late. 2 wins and 2 draws in an unbeaten run, and 1 or 2 new names have come into the side, notably Hutchings, who's made that left-back position his own this season, and at number 4, Kevin Hales, who scored the first goal of his career in their last success against Sheffield Wednesday in their last home match here. The Blackburn lineup differs in no less than 7 places compared with that which played here in the league last March, the latest signing being Norman Bell, who came 3 weeks ago from Wolves. And also missing last spring was Noel Brotherston, whose absence at a crucial part of the season arguably cost Blackburn promotion in the end they lost out on goal difference to Swansea City. The referee, unchanged from last week, Dennis Hedges of Headington, who was in charge at Loftus Road 7 days ago. Blackburn wearing white shorts, and it is this near side which will cause the greatest problems. Blackburn, incidentally, haven't won on this ground since 58-59 season. Although more recently they haven't conceded a goal for 3 games. There's Colin Lee. Keeley. John Bumstead finding Walker very nicely indeed. Two teams bracketed together just outside the promotion lineup in 7th and 8th positions. Rutherstone. It's Kevin Arnott, currently on loan from Sunderland. David Hamilton has come into the side because of the injury to Mike Rathbone. First free kick goes to Blackburn. Graham Wilkins. And Keeley has come up right at the back there. And the flag is up for offside. And I think the referee just wants a few words to sort out the disagreement between Mickey Joy and Norman Bell. Ends with smiles all round. And our first chance to have a look at 17-year-old Steve Francis, who's keeping Peter Barota out of the Chelsea side, and indeed Bob Isles. Bumstead. Hamilton. Obstruction by Hamilton on Lee. Geno half came and then stayed, but the angle was too great for Colin Lee. Well, it had nothing to do with the pitch, that. Lee had no chance of beating the angle. Miller, push and go pass is another useful tactic this afternoon. Plenty of support in the middle. But it was Garner who was beaten by the angle, although his chance was better than Lee's had been at the other end. It's some good play by Miller, just pushed it and ran and got a cross into an unmarked man, but Garner couldn't time the jump properly. Garner. Bell. Garner. It's a good try and a good stop. They recover. Simon Garner from some distance. Plenty of power behind the shot. And the goalkeeper got it on the wrist of his right arm and was always going to recover before any oncoming forward. For Zacherle. Federer's run created the space for Joy. Nice flick on. The goalkeeper did well as Hales got the shot in, but the flag was up anyway for offside. Geno is hurt. As he came out then, he fell awkwardly. It's his right knee which is causing the problems. Pitch certainly harder than that at Loftus Road last week. Bobby Saxton, the manager, with a rather suitable headgear for the afternoon. Still going to clear with his right. Met by Pates. Halfway through the first half. And as yet, no score. And really only one goalkeeping save, and that came from Steve Francis. Brotherston. Room here for Hamilton. Didn't balance himself before he put the ball across. Stonehouse. Bazakali. Garner. Arnott was there slightly ahead of the ball. And a fine try and a good parry. He did very well then, Kevin Arnott, to play the ball off, because he'd gone a little bit too early actually, but he played it off well to Garner, who struck it beautifully. And the goalkeeper flung himself and got the parry. Garner on the far post. Miller. Out by Lee. Exactly. Got it down nicely. Really produced no power in the shot. Garner. Bell. Mays played it early for Walker, who was pulled. And the free kick has been given. Walker turns to applaud the referee, with whom he's had the old conversation earlier in the match. All credit to Alan Mays, who saw the possibilities of that very early. Played it first time, and but for the pull, would probably have got Walker in on Geno. Wilkins to take. Here's Fillery. Hit it well, but just wide. And he set his sights, he kept the ball down. Few seconds the referee wants to add on for a couple of lectures and one injury. Fillery looking for Walker once again. Brannigan's followed him out to the left. Fillery has been involved in the best we've seen of Chelsea in this half. Brotherston looking for Bell, it's too long. Check of the referee's watch is enough. And the teams go away to the dressing rooms at the end of a first half which failed to produce a goal. Two saves made by Steve Francis, doing most to ensure that. And it's an afternoon when it's an art to keep warm, and few will be warmer than Stamford, the Chelsea mascot. And it's the mascots team which gets the second half underway. Chelsea now attacking the goal to our left. And really, they will feel a little disappointed that with the possession they had in the first period, they didn't test Terry Geno at all. Wilkins with the first free kick of the second half. It's Colin Pates has gone forward, out by Hamilton. Miller, Walker, and Keeley stayed back. Lee, Brotherston. Fillery, Bumstead, Mays, Bumstead has gone left, Lee has gone right, and very, very nicely worked indeed. Really good play by Chelsea, given the finish by Colin Lee. And they're a great deal warmer now at the popular end of Stamford Bridge, or indeed in the stand as well. Nicely played by Bumstead and by Mays. Mays had two options, chose Lee, and Lee finished the move in style. Enjoying the celebration. Hales applying the brakes and finding a very good ball, but all credit to Brannigan, who turned very well. Brotherston. Nothing left of him. Stonehouse. This is Hales. And this is promising. And Hales again, lovely return once more by Mays. And deserved better finish. Or better luck with the finish, I should say. And he linked very, very well then with Kevin Hales, who demanded the others and his team get out of his way, and he made a very, very positive run, straight at the heart of the Blackburn defence. Met by Joy, out by Vazakali. Lee very calm about it, but Bumstead is offside. Wilkins. That was a good forward run by Hales, but he wasn't found. I think it's going well for Chelsea with an hour of the match gone. And one goal in the net. Mays has played a considerable part in Chelsea's improvement in the first quarter of an hour of the second half. And here's Walker found from the throw. Bumstead, and offside against Fillery, it won't count. Fillery was forward of the play, and Bumstead's shot in fact hit him on the back, and he comes away smiling as Fillery. There's no doubt that the referee would disallow that. Pity that Joy didn't use the ball better after moving with such grace. Bell, taken by Garner. Good running by Miller, useful cross too, and very nearly a fine goal by Stonehouse. But he had to pull back and get round to that, and it caused problems for young Francis, but it was wide of the post. And the cold afternoon has attracted a little over 11,000 spectators to Stamford Bridge. It's unfortunate when the ground staff have worked so hard to get a match on that the afternoon is too cold for spectators to come. Should there be said, it's traditionally the worst Saturday of the season for crowd figures, the Saturday immediately prior to Christmas. Zakali. Good header by Keeley. Out by Joy. Brotherston. Mistake by Pates. And the header. And is in by Miller. But he nearly made it, De Francis. But Miller reacting well to the mistake by Pates, whose intended clearance went across the goal, and the looping, rather curling header just brushing the far post and going in for 1-1. 53 minutes gone, and we're back to all square. Colin Lee. His goal has now been nullified. Hales. Still. And well used. Hutchings. Joy. Bumstead. Here's Alan Mays. Beautifully done. Good stop by Geno. Lovely back flick by Mays, which set up the chance for Bumstead. Alan Mays right in the heart of the action, and a bit of quick thinking setting up the opportunity. Geno got down very sharply. Graham Wilkins. And Keeley puts the ball into the upper tier. Intended back pass produces the corner, for which Joy is coming steaming forward. And this time goes all the way. Walker has also come into the area. Here's Colin Lee. Geno's lost it. Bumstead's shot was blocked. Joy! Well, he had to snatch at it. And it flew with some ferocity wide. And it ends as a point apiece from a goal apiece. Colin Lee giving Chelsea the lead a minute into the second half. And Miller equalising with the header which brushed the far post from a defensive error. And really, after the exertions of the second half, I've got a feeling that both managers will feel rather disappointed.
Pates straight at Flanagan. Coming back to Flanagan. From O'Connor. Now Flanagan off. Micklewhite.
And it might come through O'Connor's little touch there. Flanagan trying to play it back again. Flanagan shot just over the top. Good combination there by Queen's Park Rangers, and Chelsea had so many back. And it was a ball that came out in the end so invitingly for Mick Flanagan. And his shot was too high.
Roda.
That's a good ball by Roda, if Flanagan could get there. Oh, and the keeper completely bemused by that. Well, there was an example of players not used to the artificial turf. Young Steve Francis came out and was completely bamboozled by the bounce. Flanagan wasn't, but in the end didn't quite get the cross that was required with the keeper right out of it. You can see Francis completely misjudging it, then losing his footing. Flanagan just keeping in play there.
Stewart.
Oh, and a nice little back heel there for Micklewhite. Going past Troy, and the shot was over the top. A lovely play there by Rangers. They look so much more sure-footed coming forward there than Chelsea did in defending. And young Stewart, and then Micklewhite, the back heel there in the first place. Then Micklewhite taking on Droy, going round him, and his shot was too high. Hutchins again. Gillard just flicking it on, but a little pass here might put Walker in. 1-0 to Chelsea. The run of the play for most of the day. A lovely little ball there, and Walker hitting it in off that far post there, putting Chelsea into the lead. And now Fenwick. And now Micklewhite being chased by Fillery, but still finds Stewart. And a deep cross towards Mick Flanagan. There's his header, and there's a good save by Francis. Flanagan applauding the cross here from young Stewart. Got his neck muscles working, but the reflexes of the keeper were equal to it. And here's Micklewhite though for QPR. And that's a good little shot off the top of the crossbar. What a lovely bit of skill by Gary Micklewhite, and I thought for a moment that he fooled Steve Francis. What a lovely shot. Just clipping off the top of the crossbar. Chelsea leading 1-0. Fillery with the free kick for them. Deep towards Lee. Waddock getting it away. Hales turning it back. Roeder underneath this one. Umstead getting in as well. Mays with a shot! 2-0! Finish for Chelsea, and it's all up for Rangers now. And Alan Mays against his old club, catching it on the volley without a lot of power. It's fair, but the direction was right, and Burridge was without a chance. On the volley, right foot into the corner. Playing time added on, and there's no way now that Rangers can catch Chelsea. And all the excitement in this game in the last quarter of an hour. Walker bangs the ball away as the final whistle goes, and an amazing victory for Chelsea. Back on their heels for quite a while in this game, and then 2 goals in the last 12 minutes. Clive Walker getting the first one. And then number 7, Alan Mays, adding to it right at the finish. The Chelsea fans are going mad behind that left-hand goal. So Liverpool in that all-dark strip attack the goal to our right, unbeaten in their last 11 games, 9 of which they've won. They've reached the League Cup final. They've conceded only 4 goals in their last 11 matches and scored 30 times, and that's what you call awesome form. Chelsea distinguishable this afternoon. They're the team with the white stockings on. Sammy Lee, Hutchins, and the ball back with Nutten, and now with Locke. Chelsea, for their part, have lost only 1 of their last 14, and that was at Watford last Saturday. Chelsea's throw. Gary Locke, who's had a pretty severe haircut there. Dalglish playing it back and going straight to Walker with it. Cowley. A little start here for Chelsea towards Rhodes-Brown, with Neil closing on him. Rhodes-Brown getting a touch, Lee getting in quickly, still Rhodes-Brown, and then Hutchins. The occasion getting a little the better of him, particularly as Walker was nicely placed just inside that Liverpool penalty area with a yard or two. Neil. Charge in the back by Dry on Rush. Quite properly the free kick given. Ian Rush in a tremendous burst of form with 20 goals this season. Dalglish. Lee. Just a little bit frantic at the moment while teams try to sort themselves out of it. But well, what a good touch by Dalglish from McDermott. Danger for Chelsea. And the chip just a little bit too high for Liverpool's point of view. But Dalglish's little touch was perfection and was a very early warning indeed as to what Chelsea might expect. He's got a bit of an eye wound that he picked up in the midweek game against Ipswich, but his vision was really unimpaired there. Pates playing it for Lee. Didn't mean to get it back to Pates, but it arrived there nonetheless. Hales. And a break now. Good bit of play and a good run by Locke. And Rhodes-Brown meeting it first time. And Liverpool just for once were caught out on the far side as Walker got back onto an onside position. And the referee adjudged that Locke's timed run was perfectly okay. And here's Locke on that run, and he slung in a good cross. And Rhodes-Brown hit it high and wide. Fillery. Quick change of mind. Nothing. Fillery again. Locke's made a break down the right, and Fillery picked him out superbly. An early cross perhaps. Souness in the way. Finding Hansen. Neil. McDermott. And Lee. And away goes Rhodes-Brown. Now, has he got the nerve to hold on? He has! Chelsea ahead! Rhodes-Brown, the scorer, his first goal. Chelsea, and they'll want to see this again. Rhodes-Brown with the Liverpool defence breaking its neck to get back as Grobbelaar came out just inside the far post. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0. 7 minutes, 45 seconds. Well, Bob Paisley with a tit-for. Something to think about. Dry up well, Hutchins in well, but a lot of red shirts are up there, and a shot from Rush goes over for the goal kick. Chelsea's ability to keep their concentration and their stamina at the highest possible level for every second of this game. Lee now taking it for Rhodes-Brown, played it towards Walker. Now Hales trying to dip it back again. The little clip cross once more as Lee comes in, and Lawrenson was grateful to put that away for the corner. What a good break again by Chelsea. Well deserving the corner. And Walker wasn't far from getting in on it. So a few anxious glances in that Liverpool defence as Chelsea get another corner coming towards the near post. Hales will get a chance to hit it back in once more towards Joy, but Sammy Lee getting it as far as Dalglish. Now Hansen. The break on for Liverpool. Lee has gone through the middle. Whelan is on this side. Important there for Nutton to have got his header in, which he did. Now Rhodes-Brown. Leaving it for Hales.
Hutchins back to the safety of his keeper. Also there, slightly in the picture. But here Liverpool again. Still Hansen, but Liverpool still a goal down. McDermott on the turn, good save. Again the warning for Chelsea that if you give them half a yard of extra space, you could be in trouble. And France is saving well from McDermott. Neal's coming up from the back, Whelan's in there, rushes at the near post. There aren't that many red shirts in the box at the moment, though. They've played it wide there for McDermott, and he's got a bit of space. Oh, crossbar, that's twice they've hit the woodwork. And Liverpool are having no luck at all. With Rush having hit the post, McDermott then hitting the crossbar. Possibly touched on by the keeper. No, I don't think he did. No, it was a clean hit. Here comes Lawrence. Dalglish. McDermott. Foul that time by Prates. Maybe it was a foul by Nutten before the ball came through towards McDermott. A free kick to Liverpool at any rate. McDermott over it. Rush very active up front there. Whelan trying to get in behind them on the far side. Does so across the face of that goal again. And yet again, Liverpool are doing everything right, but just cannot get the ball in the net. It was a good late run there by Ronnie Whelan. After Souness had taken that free kick, he studied attention there. He got in well, across the goal. A good long ball down that flank for Rush. It's a Liverpool throw. It's a free kick for the foul by Mickey Droy on Ian Rush. In there, Droy missed it, Hutchins didn't. Hansen. Everybody inside that Chelsea half, except Grobbelaar. Hansen coming forward, just wide again. Well, Chelsea have conceded only 4 goals in their last 7 games, but they've been living on a knife edge for the last 20 minutes or so. Good, tense cup tie this, and Chelsea so well aware of the fact that they mustn't rest on 1 goal, but certainly need to look for another one. And with that attacking intention and Liverpool's too, it's an excellent cup tie. Kennedy, Troy. Well, his header found Lee. He held up the pass because he thought Walker was offside. It was the only thing he could do, really. Now, can he wriggle free? Hales again, trying to cross it in for Fillery, showing good control, but Neal was there for Liverpool. I think that's probably a free kick for Liverpool. Hales' assault on Ronnie Whelan just a little too vigorous for the referee's liking, and it will be a free kick. But I think it really should go back another 10 yards or so to be perfectly fair, but it's now been taken, and here are Liverpool. Well, they haven't had much this first half, which is now 4 minutes from its conclusion. Neal trying to get McDermott away, inside for Dalglish, hit first time, and he was a little lucky that it came back to him. Stamford Bridge crowd for the team in blue. Whelan now on the break for Liverpool. A nice little drag back by Dalglish, and a shot that's too high and a goal kick. ball there by Fillery again for Hutchins. And Lawrenson nicely placed to get it away. But a Chelsea throw, and we're playing time added on for stoppages at the end of the first half. At the moment is happening. They said it couldn't possibly happen, that Chelsea could make Liverpool fight from behind, but that's just what's happened thanks to that 7th-minute goal by Peter Rhodes-Brown. Chelsea have battled well, but Liverpool nonetheless have looked such a menacing side, with Ian Rush and Terry McDermott both hitting the Chelsea woodwork. It's a marvellous cup tie so far. I fancy that might continue in the second half as well. With a half-time score here at a bubbling Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0. So Chelsea get the second half underway, attacking the goal to right, leading by a goal to 0, and 45 minutes away from an astonishing cup tie result. Mind you, they've not been beaten here since October when Barnsley beat them. Oh, but that's an own goal? No, it's not. What a disastrous mistake that might have been in the first 30 seconds of the second half. The youngster, fortunately for him, but played it just a little bit wide. Rush. It's a phenomenal toss, even so, that faced Chelsea. When you think over the last 11 games, Liverpool have been striking almost at the rate of 3 goals a game. Point of fact, but nonetheless finding Sammy Lee. Dalglish off in pursuit. And Liverpool get a throw. Dalglish with it, and McDermott quicker to spot the possibilities than anybody else. Well, Francis got a touch, and Droy, in fact, got the one that mattered by putting it behind for the corner. But it was McDermott's quick thinking that suddenly put Chelsea into trouble, until Troy got the one away for the corner. A little chip in here for Kennedy, and another corner for Liverpool. Well, they only had 1 corner in the first half, but they had 3 now in the second. In the opening 2 minutes. Taking it from Kennedy. Rush. Austin well there. Phil Neal was in there too. Whelan miscued badly. That was a chance. Oh, Ronnie Whelan's been in amongst the goals lately. He's got 7 this season, and that really was coming out to a clear chance for him. The penalty area, and absolutely dead centre as near as makes no odds, and clearly a problem now looming for Chelsea. The wall that needs to be organised efficiently and made absolutely watertight. Francis has got to get a sight of it. Kennedy is behind the ball, so too is Souness. Plenty in the wall. Souness, McDermott is lurking, Whelan is close at hand. It's going to be Kennedy maybe who has a belt in it, and referee Bates insisting that the Chelsea wall goes back the required 10 yards. A real problem now for Chelsea as Souness hammers it straight into the wall, and in fact it looked to me as though Locke almost gathered the ball up rugby style and might even have handled it. But the crowd was around the referee and he couldn't see it. Chelsea might well have escaped there. even though Locke might well be feeling it in the pit of the stomach right now. And indeed, he's still bending almost double. Well, the free kick really caught him, and it did Chelsea a service, of that there's no doubt. Wallop straight into his midriff, and it looked as though there must be a handball there. But still no luck for the man in the cap, Bob Paisley. But Locke now with the free kick. It was Lee who got the header in. Fuller is trying to get in there, but it was Phil Neal who got it away for Liverpool. Hales turning it on, and Kennedy just preventing Walker getting in from behind him. Chelsea's throw again. Gary Locke. Hales. Again hit towards Colin Lee. Rising well. Bates will try a shot himself. He has. Called for a good save from Grobbelaar, from Colin Bates. Craig Johnston warming up. Quarter of an hour of the second half gone. Liverpool with a half an hour left now to repair the damage. And you have to say the way they're playing, you get that inevitable feeling that it still will come right for them. Now, having the better of this second half, here's Lee playing it for Rush. Looking for Dalglish. Will it come for Whelan? Hansen. Kennedy. Neal. Souness. Kane Whelan in. Now McDermott. At the same time, it is a fantastic test of the nerve and character, the growing character of this Chelsea side. If they can hold on to Liverpool. Lee gets in the cross. Rhodes-Brown gets it away. Souness tries to correct but can't. Lee plays one wide for the advancing Chris Hutchins now, the fullback. He's got Walker up with him. And the shot is a feeble one. But the break... So a quarter of an hour left. Can Chelsea hang on to this goal so early in the game? Can Liverpool, who've looked at times anxious but most times menacing, get the equaliser that at least will give them a replay at Anfield? No foul there, said the referee. It's surely going to be a pretty tense 15 minutes for both sides and both sets of supporters too. Good play by Hansen. What a space. Kennedy. Oh, and he's pulled down by Hales. And the referee wanting a sharp word there, I thought, with Hales, because it seemed that the Liverpool player had beaten him. The free kick given on the edge of the box, though. Souness will take it. Johnston's on the far side. There might be a bit of space here if the ball was over. No, it's given as a corner. Chelsea fans howling that the ball was over before Kennedy connected. But the linesman said otherwise. Liverpool get another corner, and here's Kennedy. Souness, the captain. Played a little wider this time towards Whelan. And straight at the keeper. I don't think Steve Francis knew a lot about that until it actually hit him. But he stood up big and strong, and he collected. Heading it on. Lee taking it on his chest. Free kick for Chelsea. Neither Whelan nor Lawrence that refereeing decision. But Fillery will take the free kick for Chelsea. Played there for Walker. Can Chelsea find something here? Oh, Grobbelaar, it's in the goal! Colin Lee! Well, they threw that away. Take an awful lot of retrieving. The fans are on the field, and Colin Lee, who's not scored since before Christmas, was right on the spot. Suddenly, out of nothing, Chelsea produced what is sure to be a killer goal. Walker crosses it in. Neal and Grobbelaar get themselves in a terrible state, and Colin Lee is there to finish it off. And the Liverpool fans having a lot to say for themselves at the moment. Mind you, they've had plenty to cheer all season. Dalglish. Rush will hope to get on the end of this. Phil Neal. Souness. Whelan to Kennedy. And a corner for Liverpool. Lawrenson comes forward, but it can't be much more than going through the motions now. In the last few seconds of the game, Liverpool are 2 down. Dalglish turning it in. Droy once again getting it away at the expense of another corner. Sammy Lee will take this one, perhaps. He's gone across to the corner spot. And even now, Mickey Droy won't believe it's all over. He's summoning one last big effort from his team. Lee now, finding Kennedy. In for Dalglish. But stopped well by Walker. And that's the clearance that Chelsea fans wanted. Get a bit of distance. Hansen. Whelan. Free kick. Foul by Souness. And the Chelsea players are remonstrating with the Liverpool player and with the referee. Hales there, who's in a bit of trouble. Hutchins. Souness goes in hard there, and the referee was right on the spot, as you could see. Whelan back to his keeper. And the Chelsea fans are waiting behind Gobelar's goal to rush onto the field. But it's not over yet. Rhodes-Brown gets it away. Lawrenson pounding it forward again. Johnson, Whelan again, trying to get in there. Once again defied by Chelsea's defence. Here's Lawrenson again. Oh, Chelsea beat them in 78. They're a few seconds away from repeating it here. Referees having a hard look at the watch. Both linesmen have signalled that as far as they're concerned, up. Droy, who's been magnificent at the back again for Chelsea. His work and his influence. Rhodes-Brown, whose goal got things moving for Chelsea. And Liverpool looking now just for a goal that will bring an air of respectability and nothing else. But they've got a corner. Surely too late for them to save it. Craig Johnston. And the ball not away yet. The whistle has gone. And Chelsea have won it. Those goals by Rhodes-Brown and by Colin Lee bring an astonishing victory to the second division side. And just look at that for the team. They've been starved of success here for so long. And their supporters, because of the doings of the vast minority of them, have had a bad name. But the good Chelsea supporters say this is really like the old times. Amazing scenes that follow an amazing victory.
For Chelsea, Mickey Droy failed his late fitness test, so Gary Chivers continues at centre-half. John Bumstead returns in midfield, and up front Alan Mays replaces the suspended Colin Lee. There was a late scare when Steve Archibald of Spurs took a test on a groin strain, but he's okay, so they play the side which beat Eintracht Frankfurt on Wednesday. And what a contrast this afternoon between the two goalkeepers. For Chelsea, 17-year-old Steve Francis is still an apprentice, while at the other end, Ray Clements of Spurs will play at Wembley next week for the 37th time. And on the Tottenham bench, Keith Birkinshaw, whose team are still in with a chance at the beginning of this afternoon of winning 4 trophies this season. Referee is George Courtney of Spennymoor, who should know all about local derbies in London. He refereed the 1980 final between West Ham and Arsenal. Spurs are wearing white shorts, borrowed from Chelsea, because the referee objected to both sides playing in blue shorts. And it's Tottenham from the left in the first half with Tony Galvin to Crooks. Chris Hughton moving forward. Ardiles. That's the first shot. From a man who may or may not play in the semi-final if Spurs win this round. He's scheduled to go to Argentina on the 1st of April to join the World Cup preparations. I wonder if he would persuade Menotti to extend that stay in England if Spurs were in the semi-final. The bounce was awkward for Tottenham there, but the ball carried on quite a blustery afternoon. There's a breeze blowing, swirling across the pitch, and it certainly seemed to carry the ball through to Clements there. Here's Perryman. And Hoddle looking up and waving Archibald into space. Chris Hutchings, the defender, beaten by Archibald. And here's Hoddle following up. And Hazard couldn't make it. Galvin on the far side. Tackle by Locke. Hazard now. Back in for Crooks. And the ricochet comes out to Paul Miller. And Spurs looking for the opening. Hoddle. Perryman. And again. And Chelsea glad to get the ball away. Hoddle twice involved in that last move. Here's Fillery. Working it with Pates. Fillery again. Drive there by Alan Mays, who felt it was deflected. Mays, who's been to League Cup semi-finals with Watford and Swindon, hoping to reach an FA Cup semi-final with Chelsea. And he certainly seized his chance from Fillery's pass to hit that with his left foot. Was it deflected? He thought it was. Rhodes-Brown, what a fine ball. Mays this is. Pates and Walker are making ground in the centre for Chelsea. Walker's come near post, and Pates, and it came off Paul Miller. The ball in was good from Alan Mays. Clive Walker at the near post might have capitalised. Colin Pates tried to. Deflection off Miller for a corner. Hoddle with the header out. Straight back to Rhodes-Brown. Bumstead up. And Galvin for Spurs. It's been end-to-end stuff in the first half. And here's Hazard again in space. Here's Crooks. Hazard coming through again. This is Perryman. Oh, and Archibald goes in, and Hazard goes in. And the ball wouldn't go in for Spurs. And they can't work out why nobody got a proper shot in. Chelsea are relieved, but they've still got some defending to do here. Archibald. Ardiles. And away by Pates for Chelsea. What a fine ball to Walker, who's got space in which to work. Mays in the centre. Fillery getting forward now. Still Clive Walker. And that took a deflection. And Chelsea have a corner. Strong, surging individual run by Clive Walker. It's come to Hutchings. Mays. And Glenn Hoddle blocking Hutchings. His defensive contribution was there to see, but it didn't matter actually, because the linesman on the far side had flagged for an offside against Chris Hutchings. Paul Miller now for the FA Cup holders Spurs. Oh, it beat Chivers, and here's Archibald, and Chivers got a foot in, and Archibald did as well. Well, Gary Chivers got caught, first of all, by that floating high ball. Archibald comes in, Chivers gets a foot in. It also touches Nutton, and Archibald with his left foot, the wrong side of the post. On by Pates to Walker. Now Bumstead. Referee had already blown, giving Chelsea the free kick. Fillory, who's been known to strike them from here. Three Chelsea players mingling with the Tottenham wall in front of Clements. And he wants them further back, the Tottenham players. Perryman is debating with the referee. Fillory wants to line the shot up. He's got Rhodes Brown to his left. He drives it. Oh, what a goal! Fillory produces the goal that matters for Chelsea. Ray Clements is beaten in a domestic cup tie for the first time this season. The first goal Spurs have let in either the FA Cup or the League Cup, and it's scored by Mike Fillory. What a shot! He waited his time, drove it with his left foot, and it flew through that crowd of players and beat Clements right in the corner. And the Chelsea fans have got something to celebrate now. What a good time to score if they can keep their nerve until the break. Minutes the record stood at, and Clements is beaten at last, and Chelsea get their teeth into this cup tie now with a vengeance. Well, Chelsea have beaten Liverpool. Can they beat Tottenham? And the referee blows for half-time. And the half ends on a high note for Chelsea and Mike Fillory. Spurs, the holders, go in a goal down. And the Chelsea fans have enough now to keep them talking throughout the half-time interval. John Neal, who's been to the 6th round with Wrexham and Middlesbrough as a manager. He's 45 minutes away from a semi-final now with Chelsea. Spurs with so much to fight for here. They don't want to lose their hold on the FA Cup. They don't want to lose the first of those 4 targets or their unbeaten 14-match run. Here's Hoddle. Ardiles, Hoddle, 4 in the middle for him. Archibald, Ardiles. It was deflected off Pates. Took the sting out of the shot from Ardiles. Fillory. Perryman for Spurs. There's Locke's interception, but here's Crooks, Houghton. Tottenham with no option but to push forward. Hazard. Crooks looks to his right and finds Ardiles, who finds Galvin. Hutchings with the header away. Ardiles. Crooks. Appeals for handball by Mickey Nutton. Right on the edge. Now, will this be a case of the bite a bit? Fillory now has got to help line the wall up, because Spurs have the free kick in what is normally the territory of Hoddle or Ardiles. Ardiles to Hazard, to Hoddle. Good save by... Oh, and Archibald! Archibald's got his first goal since he came back. It was a gift, really, but he was on hand. And unlucky Steve Francis, the 17-year-old keeper. The ball was played to Hoddle. The shot along the ground, Francis got his hands to it, couldn't hold it. And Archibald makes it 1-1 for Spurs. Well, all he needed was a goal, Keith Birkinshaw said, to bring him back to his best form. We shall see now. Both goals coming from free kicks. Underlining again the vast importance of set-piece play. Foul by Hoddle as the game gets a little rough. And Chelsea anxious to get on with it. Referee allowing them to do so. Ardiles. Well, that was a typical Archibald goal. He hovers around the 6-yard box, hoping for rebounds exactly like that. Ardiles. Derryman. Ardiles goes again. Oh, that was Pates with him. I would imagine every time a defender concedes a free kick now within 30 yards of goal, there are bound to be a few butterflies in the penalty area. The way the game has gone. Hoddle again to take. Up goes Miller. Oh, dear me. Well played by Fillory. Not the best of balls to Pates, but he made something of it. Ardiles got back to challenge. Hutchings for Chelsea. Mays. Rhodes-Brown. Offside. And Tottenham got players back there. Hazard with a smile on his face. It's been a good-tempered match this, bearing in mind what's at stake. Well controlled by the referee and beautifully balanced at 1-1 between these great London rivals, Spurs of the First Division and Chelsea of the Second. Houghton for Tottenham. Archibald, little flick for Hazard. Hoddle moving up on the right. Hoddle's shot. Oh! What a goal! A beautiful move by Tottenham, and Glenn Hoddle fires in their second to turn this cup tie on its head. They came out for the second half a goal behind, and now they're a goal in front. And it was an educated move, which says so much about the Spurs. Little flick there. On by Archibald to Hazard, out to Hoddle, and in that space, he's lethal. Right across the keeper. Spurs are ahead. After 55 minutes, Fillory for Chelsea. Rhodes-Brown. And just when we thought the second half might be an examination of Tottenham's character, Glenn Hoddle's goal means it's going to be an examination of Chelsea's. The ground absolutely buzzing now. Walker. Here's Pates. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is Archibald. Well, Fillory never intended to do that. Here's Galvin. Crooks, it'll touch inside to Houghton. Opening for a shot by Houghton. Oh, what a fine save by the 17-year-old keeper. Chris Houghton foiled by Francis. After an extraordinary slice by Fillory had put Chelsea in trouble on the far side, Tottenham attacked. Houghton found room for the shot, and great reflexes by this emerging young goalkeeper who hasn't allowed the 2 goals to affect him, it would seem. Away by Nutton, it's going to come to Galvin. Oof. And the player who it struck was a Tottenham colleague who's flat out in the penalty area. Paul Price. Galvin. Look at the length on that. Hoddle. He shook off Fillory there. And he made room for Hazard. And they just can't stop Glenn Hoddle. Hazard the scorer, his second important goal in a matter of days. But Fillory lost out to Hoddle, and that's where it cost Chelsea dear. Because Hoddle set the chance up, and Hazard buried the shot. And now he's had a hand in all 3 goals. And has made what looked like a difficult match for Tottenham into what could prove to be, thanks to Hazard's goal, a comfortable one. We shall see. They've scored 3 goals in the first 16 minutes of the second half. Fillory for Chelsea. And here's Walker, and there's Pates, and a chance there for... Oh, it's there! Alan Mays gets one back. Tottenham lost their concentration, and Clements beaten by Mays. The ball played in from the left, and Tottenham didn't defend well there. Walker got a touch on it. It came back to Pates, his shot was blocked, and Mays beat Clements inside his near post. Well, Chelsea with an instant reply, bringing this cut tie now to a crescendo, which seems to speak for the size of the occasion. The match has now met that. We've seen 5 goals, and who goes through to the semi-final? Well, thanks to that quick reply by Chelsea, it's still in doubt. Chipped in again by Hoddle for Archibald. Chivers this is for Chelsea. Now Rhodes-Brown to Fillory. And Hutchings. And Hazard. And Hoddle. Oh, given away by Bumstead to Hoddle, and he's found Archibald, and he's made room for perhaps a chance. Well played the goalkeeper, he forced him wide, but Tottenham are still threatening. Galvin. There's Crooks on the far post, heading it back, but not far enough back for Hazard. Good piece of goalkeeping by Steve Francis there to foil Archibald. He really came well, because if Archibald had put that away, then at 4-2, surely Tottenham would have had the lead they need. As it is, Chelsea are still in there with a great chance. And there's going to be a substitution. It's Clive Walker who is going off. Presumably he's taken a knock of some sort. An attacker goes off, and the substitute is Dennis Rofe, who hasn't played in the first team since late September, had a long injury problem. Oh, the dying embers of this cup tie now. Referee will be looking at his watch any moment to check that the 90 minutes are up. And it'll be a question of stoppages, as the sting would appear to have gone out of Chelsea. And Spurs would appear to be ending the match in their most measured stride, but not without a few hiccups along the way, I might add. Do they appear to be going into the semi-final? A fine cup tie, and Glenn Hoddle has a hand in the 3 goals which Spurs scored in 14 minutes, which effectively for Keith Birkinshaw and his team sealed this cup tie, that spell, and enabled them to go on with their assault on 4 trophies. Chelsea fought so well, admirably, in the absence of Droy and Lee. They played a major part in making this a memorable match. Hoddle thanks the fans. Let's hope they behave on their way home, because the players certainly played their part on the pitch, with a final score at Stamford Bridge of Chelsea 2, Tottenham 3, and Spurs go into the semi-final.
The cup finalists, Queen's Park Rangers, playing today in red, wanted a win to have an outside chance of promotion to the First Division. They took the lead just before half-time when John Gregory shot from outside the penalty area. 1-0, and that was the score at half-time. Clive Allen scored the goal to put Rangers into the final, and he nearly scored again today. Tony Curry was the inspiration behind most of the dangerous moves created by Rangers. He seems to have lost none of the skills that made him an international player. And this afternoon, he tried a shot from 35 yards that had Steve Francis at full stretch. Chelsea's equaliser came from a free kick, and it was scored by their defender, Mickey Droy, who had time to pick his spot. So 1-1, and it spurred on Chelsea to take 3 points. There were only 3 minutes left as Chelsea won the match. Once again, Mickey Droy was there, but it was Colin Lee who headed over Peter Hooker. So that was it, 2-1 to Chelsea, and a severe blow to the promotion hopes of Queen's Park Rangers.